YouTube, what's going on? Justin Skaggs here from Stylinstrings Lacrosse. This is how to string. Today we're going to focus on the brand new Hero Mesh color system that they just came out with. We're going to put a mid-low pocket into an STX Superpower. I've had this Superpower sitting on my wall for a while, and I always wanted to do a very cool little all grayed out AT-AT walker from Star Wars, and Frank had these stickers printed out for me for at least 8 months. This thing's gonna absolutely retain the ball. It's got immense hold, it's got a little bit of whip, and it's just got a really, really nice elongated channel. So let's get started off with the top string. For the top string, I chose the 9-diamond top string. I can string these in my sleeve. They're easy to modify how far down you want to pull the diamonds, and they're also really durable. It's made out of 4 hitch knots, which is the strongest knot that you can possibly string. Its durability is literally equal to that of the tension weight that the string can hold itself. We're doing a 9-diamond row, so we have to actually create the 9-diamond row. Very simple, you just fold it on top of itself, glossy side on glossy side, so that you can keep the rough side exposed for the ball. Pull it apart, you should see through both diamonds and have 2 bunny ears on the side. To lock off the top string, I start by doing a double knot on the sidewall string. You can do any knot that you'd like as long as it's big enough not to go through these sidewall holes. On Superpower, I'm going to start on the second hole down, from the outside of the head to the inside of the head, and from the front of the mesh to the back. We'll pull that through. You should see that you have the little overhang sticking out of the back here. I'm going to go right back through that exact same hole that I just started with. And you're going to see that'll lock off the mesh. A trick that I like to employ is that you can actually take one of your other sidewalls that you're not using yet, and you can hitch it so that the mesh is fully extended across the lip of the head. Just tie that off with anything that you'd like, and then you don't have to worry about guessing as to where these things go. It'll all flow a lot more smoothly, and that's something I've been doing for a while. And we're gonna go through this even numbered mesh diamond from the back to the face, and then through this plastic top string hole from the face to the back. And we're going to loop it right through the same string that we started this pattern with. Pull all the slack out. Now we're going to change it up. We're going to go from the face to the front, from the back to the front again, through the plastic, and then bring it back to the back of the pocket, through the mesh. We're going to repeat that all the way across. When you're doing your 9-diamond top string, you want to make sure that the center part of these mesh pieces is going inside of these actual hitches. So if you ever need to pull it over with your pair of pliers, make sure you do so as you move along. Goal is to replicate this side with this side. So I'm going to go from the back of the stick to the face here, through this second hole, and repeat. You'll see that this is going to pull this mesh nicely to the other side. Make sure that that ear is where you want it, and tie it off. The sidewall structure is a mix of Cali and open segmentation, so what I wanted to do was take advantage of the fact that I have a mid-low pocket, and almost half of this pocket space is Cali connection knots wrenching the mesh down towards the butt of the stick. Simple double overhand knot. You can start pretty much anything that way. And since we already pulled the mesh down a little bit, I'm going to go right to the next open sidewall hole. I'm going to hitch it just like that. Now, I'm going to go back through once more. It's going to be very similar to how we started the top string. I'm going to skip the first sidewall hole, go from the outside to the inside, leaving myself a little bit of slack. Going from the front of the mesh to the back of the mesh, and then back down through that slack that we had already left. This is how you make a Cali knot. Some people call it a love knot. Overall, it's my favorite way to start off a sidewall structure. Working our way down, I'm going to skip another and go down one more. Pull through. We're gonna make the same knot, so I'm leaving a little bit of slack and drop my string back through once I make it through the mesh. It's a lot easier to pull the slack through if you follow the string through its initial knot structure. So it came through, I pulled it here, then I pulled it there. I'm gonna go to the next, and not skip this time, but the very next sidewall hole, and make my third and final knot. Now I'm gonna go from the front of the mesh to the back, do that again, and I'm gonna go from the outside to the inside, and I'm not gonna connect it through the mesh at this point. I'm gonna go for some singles on the way down here, again from the inside of the mesh outward. Pull that up. Now that I want to end it, and since the Superpower has these nice little doubles here, I can actually get a very nice tie off. For the bottom string, I just drop down to the next diamond row. For me, that's quintessential. Whenever that's possible, I always do it. Also, it went through a 9 diamond row, so you have to skip one in the middle. I also opted to skip the 2 on the outside here so that it didn't fight for tension with the final knot actually strung into the open sidewall structure towards the bottom. This furthest, most outside diamond closest to where we ended, because I really don't want the bottom string to fight for tension. And since we're going on a 9 diamond row, we are gonna have to skip the most center diamond. We're gonna get to that right here. Just jump right over that. Keep it going to the other side. Back through here. Flip that up and drop it right down to the bottom here. As for the shooting setup, I don't see a lot of people doing rolled top strings, and I can't for the life of me understand why. They provide an absolutely great snap, they're really durable, and the maintenance is a lot lower. But when you do have to crack it open and put a little bit of maintenance time into it, it is a really big headache. So if you need a quick fix, go for a square knot with a weave. If you really want to put some time into making this thing kind of more longer lasting, more durable, I suggest you try this rolled top shooting string. So I always really like this system, and this is my first all grayed out stick, so I want to say thank you to East Coast Dyes for sending this over. They actually sent it over to T-Bird, and I stole it. So I owe T-Bird a piece of mesh, and this mesh is absolutely awesome. You guys can find this in all of the Stylinstrings pockets, kits, and you can buy it in the supply section if you want to build your own kit or you just need something special. So next time, guys, take care, keep laxing.
I'm Tyler from Stylinstrings Lacrosse, and today we're going to show you guys how to make a modified box pocket and a NOS 2 featuring the all-new drone fiber mesh.